I could sit, you know what I mean?
Or you could just slide even over.
Yeah, sit between.
Yeah. Oh, now she's abandoning me completely
Well,
now.
because Gail may be speaking, we want
Oh.
her to be in the camera when I
Hi, Gail.
trip and
I know,
fall.
there's so many wires.
Hurt somebody.
Don't unplug the wrong one.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Okay, I would like to call this meeting to order. And I would like to start the meeting with a board vote to accept as an addendum the easements that were presented from, for the pole placements.
I would make a motion that we accept and discuss.
Okay, so we need to add 3 items: person power easement, person indemnification agreement, and the appointment of interim officials. We need to make an official vote that we enter these into the agenda.
And we can take that as one single motion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then I would move that we accept the addendum to the agenda.
Seconded.
All in favor? Great.
So which do you want to do first? Do you want to do the interim officials or the easements?
Now let's do the easements.
Okay. We might get Mike Tadenoff from Eaton Peabody in case you have any questions on those.
We're gonna start with the
Yeah, because we got a town attorney, so we don't,
Okay.
we might get him in and out as quickly as we can. He's involved in all 3 of these.
oh, okay.
Hey, Mike.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Shall I
Somebody
make
want to
a
give us? Yeah.
quick, give you some quick background on this?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. So these, there was a previous easement here. So this has to do with map 24, lot 106, property on Main Street owned by the town.
Oops.
All right. Versant. Asked for late last year. They got it early this year. They then needed to modify.
Mike, you asked them if you.
Couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Can you start over?
It might, maybe if you stop your video, we'd get a better
Sound?
sound.
All right. Are you hearing that any better? Or I could call in on a phone also if that's not working.
Yeah, that actually sounds better.
Oh, okay. All right, so sorry about that. So to back up,
No. Nope.
Nope, can't hear you.
okay, let me try to call in the number.
Yeah, that might work better.
Okay.
Oh, technology is so awesome.
1 minute.
So this is the last easement that needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so finally now we'll put in the poles and finish the project.
Boy, that was quick.
Took a while to get there, really.
Yeah.
did.
This is the easement that we didn't think we needed, but we're doing anyway because
The person is.
because they're insisting, right? That's what I understood. So, fine.
So the museum is not involved in that, because we have the indemnification in case at any time that they can complain that something didn't happen
Right.
during the process. So those 2 steps should get us where we need to be. So the person is happy, and I'm assuming the museum is probably happy because they were never comfortable with an easement that may not
Yeah,
have been on land that they control. So I think everyone's in the picture that needs to be in the picture. They're protected in case there is damage done. Highly unlikely to put in poles, but just in case. Everyone seems to be fairly well protected now.
okay.
Okay, he's up there right now. Should be back up on the phone.
He's muted, but
Okay, Mike, you want to unmute? There we go.
Okay, yeah.
Working again into your phone.
You need like the Jeopardy music playing in the background or something.
oh, I don't know that would help. Would not help me right now. Maybe a Buddhist gong of some sort. Just
Yeah, gone of mindfulness.
yeah, a
So,
mindfulness
yeah.
minute. Let's have a. Sorry. No, my wife would be very upset with me if she was watching right now.
Fortunately, she's probably not.
No, she's definitely not.
It's a good thing.
Too much like art classes.
Why did I miss this?
Hmm?
I just emailed this morning, yeah.
Oh, so I read the first part and apparently didn't read the emails, or didn't this other.
Oh, this last section, some of this just came through, like within.
Hello,
the last-
everyone. Can you hear me
Hello.
now?
Yes.
All right, so this is Mike. I'm sorry about that. We had an outage here at the house, and I think it's, even though it's been repaired, there's some issues. Okay, so the background on this is, you can all still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the background on this is there was a previous easement at this location. The location is Main Street, map 24, lot 106. It's a lot owned by the town. Previous easement given to Versant towards the beginning of this year. Due to the need to relocate some poles and lines at that location outside the boundaries of the previously given easement, Versant asked for an additional easement. When, at the time the last easement was given, the lessor, I'm sorry, the tenant of this lot, the Great Harbor Maritime Museum, joined in that easement by virtue of being a tenant, despite the fact that no poles or lines ran anywhere over the leased portion of the premises. Versant was kind of over cautious in our view in asking for a very broad grant last time around. And when we did that, we included some additional language in the body of the easement to try to clarify what the leased premises of the museum was, namely the footprint of the building. And we and the museum both hoped that would serve Versant going forward, and they would simplify the easement process going forward. But unfortunately, it didn't. And when they asked for a new easement, they once again wanted full-fledged signatures by both the Board of Selectmen and the museum. So this time around, we're offering, and we've reached an agreement with them to grant an easement from the town, and then just to blanket and indemnify Versant from and against claims by others having rights in the lot, which specifically is the museum, that they're violating the museum's ownership rights in any way. As far as we know, that the indemnification agreement would have no reason to be utilized. None of the lines are running either over, under, or through any part of the museum building or space above it. So we think it's relatively low risk, but it achieves what Versant's threshold requirement was for the grant of this easement, and they also put us on a very short time frame to accomplish it. So it was what we could do within the time frame allowed.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions? No?
I move we approve the easement presented here.
Second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
And the indemnification.
And I also move we approve the indemnification agreement presented to us.
Second.
All in favor? And the third item?
Appointment of interim officials.
Officials. Want to explain that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, Mike, you can come in on this one. Basically, that's looking at the charter, home rule for the town of Mount Desert as opposed to the state statute. That's what that is, giving the town the right to, or the responsibility, I should say, the responsibility to appoint all officials. It does supersede the state charter, I mean the state law on that, because we are a home rule. So section, I think, 2.6 of your charter. Mike, if you would like to kind of weigh in on that as well, because you ran that by 3 members of your firm, and they all agreed.
By all
with that
officials,
interpretation.
on all town boards,
Yes.
Right. So our understanding is there's a vacancy, a mid-term vacancy that has arisen on the school board, and a question arose as to how, which body has the authority to fill that vacancy. Under state statute, under the Home Rule Authority, allotted under Title 30A, Section 2602, municipality has the right to apply its own provisions to govern the existing vacancies of municipal offices and the method for filling them. And the town of Mount Desert has a procedure in place for that in its charter in Section 2.3, the vacancy of office section, which provides that if an office of an elected official becomes vacant, the board of select persons may fill vacancies of any elected office occurring between annual town meetings. And the term, it's basically an interim appointment. The term expires at the next annual town meeting. It's a may. The board is not required to make an appointment, but it does hold the authority to do so. And our discussion today was the extent to which the board could consider the recommendations of the school board or other bodies more intimately familiar with the requirements and the issues before the school board. And our conclusion was, because the charter and the applicable statutes are silent on those issues, we're comfortable with the select board taking whatever advice it feels it needs to take from those relevant bodies in considering whom to appoint to that position.
You want,
Yeah.
yeah, do you want to come up here? Hi, my name is Gil Marshall. I was the subject of an interim appointment a couple weeks ago, and now I'm the chair of the Mount Desert School Board. I work fast. So we have another vacancy, and yes, apparently there are some towns in the school district that don't have charters, and this town does. The administration had taken the position that it was the school board under state education law that filled that position. The lawyers from Drummond Woodson who weighed in today actually agree with you that it is in fact a situation in which the charter controls. And I appreciate the fact that there's an interest in working with the school board. We actually have been talking to a couple different people, one of whom I'm sure you know, the other of whom you may not. I put out a word in the school newsletter last week saying, hi folks, introducing myself and then saying, oh, we have another vacancy. If anybody's interested in being considered for the appointment, would you please let me know? And I gave my email and phone number. That just occurred last Friday. I think that newsletter came out. So my hope is that that we could continue to talk with people, and as you all know or may know, we're in interesting times in the school, and so finding someone who works well and has as much competency so they can come up to speed quickly on some of the issues that we're confronting would be of great benefit to a small board like ours. So we would like to request that you meet 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Maybe if you take the next 2 weeks to continue to see if there's anyone else interested, to continue to see if the two candidates who we're talking to, and then be able to come back and just express our opinion about who might best be suited for the requirements of the day. We'd be very appreciative of that.
Mhm.
So does that work?
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
sure sounds
That
good.
makes so much better sense.
Yeah, it was really confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, we decided, well, I'll get two blessings, one from you and one from the school board. And I said, well, but we got to straighten this out. And then boom,
Yeah.
we got to do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we were just looking for clarification.
Yep, I was too at that point. And I got tired of trying to read the statutes myself. I'm not bad at it, but I'm not definitive by any means. So thank you.
Great.
Gail, thank you for agreeing to chair the.
Yeah.
Thank you.
board.
It's good work. So it's important work. So, is that it?
Yeah.
Work for you
Thank
too?
you.
All right,
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you all. I'll sign off this call at this point unless Derlin or anyone else would like me to stay on.
I think we're all set, Mike. Everything else is pretty routine from here on.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all.
I have it's just a food for thought. I don't know, I mean, I know that the different board members on the school committee have different terms that last. If we appoint somebody or that whatever, however that occurs till the next town meeting, do they run for a 3-year term, or do they run for the remainder?
Just
of
the
term?
remainder.
The remainder, that's what I thought, but
Yeah.
that's something that people should know. Okay.
Yeah.
Perhaps unless there's a full 3-year vacancy and you would take out papers for that, would that be?
Yeah, I would have papers available for each open seat.
Right.
And people can take papers out for whichever seat they are running for.
Perfect.
Great. All right, now I will take a motion to approve the minutes of October 18, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Great, thank you. Appointments, recognitions, and resignations. Consideration of extending Michael Vollmer's effective appointment date to the vacant Packer truck driver position from honor before October 18, 2021 to honor before December 1, 2021, contingent on the successful completion of a mandatory DOT pre-employment physical and drug screening at the mandatory 6-month probationary rate of pay of $20.54 per hour, increasing to the regular rate of $21.62 per hour upon successful completion of his mandatory probationary period, by which time he is to have obtained his Class B commercial driver's license, or his employment with the town shall cease.
Is there any reason for us to have a discussion of this? 'Cause it just raises some, I'm like, want to know what's going on, but it
So
wouldn't be something that happens.
Tony wrote a letter.
Yeah,
in
I read
his-
it.
I mean, it makes
Okay.
kind of, I think
Yeah.
somebody lost some, I mean, like,
Well, it's, first of all, that a month between the 20th, well, less than a month between the 20th and the 18th is not a lot of time to get all that stuff done.
right,
So, and based on my own experiences getting stuff done.
and going to an
Surprised.
appointment and
Yeah.
getting,
Right.
clarification.
So,
I'll move approval.
I would second that.
all in favor? Consent agenda. Item A, we are going to strike because
Table.
we're going to table, sorry, until our next meeting, because the people that are, who should be here to discuss it are not.
Oh, okay.
Should we, do
we
we,
have
you
to
need a
vote on that?
motion for that?
No, I'm just explaining that when I
Oh,
read
okay.
through the agenda.
We'll
I'm not
put it,
gonna-
we'll be responsible for putting it back
Yeah.
in for the 15th.
So that's Gordon and,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So the consent agenda includes update on the bypass of municipal solid waste from the Hampton facility to Perk, general work update from Public Works Director Tony Smith, a thank you letter to the clerk's office from Acadia Wildlife Center, and Hancock County Commissioners' regular meeting minutes of October 5, 2021.
I would move approval of the consent agenda B, C, D, and E as presented.
Seconded.
All in favor?
I just wanted to say that I was glad to see that there's progress being made on the recycling. We're
Mhm.
gonna get a report on that in December.
Yes.
Good,
Hopefully positive, at least there's
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
movement.
yeah.
We hope the outcome is positive, but
I-
and
It's a
I'm glad
lot,
that
it's
it is a ton.
unbelievable to read through that,
I
and
mean, it's what people don't know,
Yeah.
and none of us know.
Right,
It's just
it's-
really too much sometimes.
just amazing, yeah. But thanks, I mean, Tony's
Yeah, he's on it.
on it and good with these reports, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
For something, he's not able to be here and you don't have the questions because you can
Yeah.
really follow what he's
Yeah, that's
saying,
good.
so.
Also, the general work update from, on item C, one of the, I think it was the third item, talked about this lacking of the easement and the contractor being not interested in starting sidewalk work until the poles are actually in the ground, and some of that has been addressed as of our earlier
Yeah.
in the addenda, but in his report, he pointed that out, that they're still facing a hurdle through Versant, which we are theoretically no longer facing.
Hopefully not.
So that's good.
Okay. So, any selectmen's reports? No? Unfinished business?
I know, silent.
I know.
I can come up with one.
I'm
if you
sure we all
like.
could. No, it's all good.
Unfinished business, amendment to the Seal Harbor Library Fair Public Spaces Special Event Application to correct the date written on the submitted application of Saturday, July 31, 2022.
I don't know, that seems.
Move approval of the new date change for July 31, 2020.
Seconded.
You're looking at the wrong calendar, I think.
All in favor? Great. New business, none presented. Other business.
I just gave you a little update on the Acadia National Park project. I wrote in there, so I'll have more information at the next meeting.
Yeah,
Good.
To know, so I think we're gonna be moving along nicely on that.
that's great. That's good.
Sounds like they've had a lot of meetings and
Yeah.
conversation, that's great.
Yeah,
I
we
mean, at some
go
point-
an hour and a half to get to that point, it was good.
It'd be nice at some point to get those folks in here to give a presentation, just to see what they
Yeah.
typically do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that leaves the warrants.
Budget season starts next meeting.
Oh. We're just talking about that at school too.
Everyone's favorite, happiest time of the year.
You know, the last couple of years, it hasn't been that painful.
No,
No, it
it's just-
hasn't.
it's just a lot of detail.
Well, I
Pre-work.
think we finally got that down now, so it's very easy to read, you know.
Except when it's all on those small sheets.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put it back on the big sheets again this year.
I like those big sheets.
All right.
Get the warrant.
Warrants to be approved and signed. Town invoices AP number 2224 in the amount of $447,319.56.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor? Authorized warrants to be signed. Town state fees and payroll benefits, AP 2222, AP 2223, and town payroll TR 2210. In the amount of $196,383.35.
Move.
Move signature?
Second.
And all in favor?
One abstention.
One abstention. Warrants to be acknowledged. School invoice number 5 and school payroll number 4 and number 9 in the amount of $632,194.85.
Move acknowledgement.
Second.
All in favor? Great. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Excellent.
You've done good, Mr. McCollum.